What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's daily market recap. You can hear I've got a little bit of I don't know what it is, allergies. I think I'm a little under the weather. So, you know what? It's been a great week. I've been so fortunate. The market has been incredible. I've done a ton of recaps, a ton of classes. Maybe my voice is a little worn out. So I'm glad that I suppose it's Friday, even though tomorrow and Sunday I'm just going to be thinking about Monday morning because this market has been incredible and I can't wait to get June off to hopefully a strong start. So I finished the morning here today with $88,769.90. Unbelievable. Over $400,000 on the week. It was a 4-day week. I made up for lost time. So that puts May at $951,000. $951,000 on the month. Wow, that's a really solid month. Now, look, I know there's people out there that made far more than me this month. I've seen some of the posts. Some people absolutely nailed some of these stocks. KDLY, SBAT. But you know what? I'm grateful for what I did. And if I spend my time comparing myself to other people, I'll just feel bad. So I don't want you to spend your time comparing yourself to how I did. I want you to remember that I've paid my dues. I funded my first account in 2001, 24 years ago, and it would be about this time of year because it was coming into summer break. So, you know what? Just recognize that I'm here sharing with you my strategy, and it's important that you see my performance so you know the person you're learning from actually knows what the heck they're talking about for that purpose alone. Because there's a lot of people out there that talk a big game, but in spite of all this volatility, they're not making money. So, who do you want to learn from? Someone who's in here, showing up every single day in the trenches trading, or someone who's an armchair quarterback? I'll let you decide. Now, I will put the link for a 2-week trial in the description of this episode. So those of you guys that want to start it today or over the weekend, by all means, jump in because you'll have access to a selection of classes from my Warrior Pro curriculum, which will teach you the basics of my strategy and how to use the software. So you'll be up and running, basically up to speed by Monday morning. Okay, so let's pull up the screen share here. Let's get into it. We've got quite a bit to cover. Today I traded, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 different stocks. GITS was the biggest winner. It was also the last stock I traded. But let's start with the first stock I traded, which was BSLK, right there with $3,200. So BSLK was our leading gapper this morning. This stock had 70-80% gap up. It was started at about 4 in the morning, popped up, pulled back, and I decided to take a trade on it coming into 7 a.m. I wasn't sure. I said very clearly. I said, guys, this is base hit only. This is not. I'm not swinging for a home run on this. I don't know how much it's going to go up, but coming into 7 a.m., it is our leading number one gainer in the market. I think I should pay attention to it. So I went ahead and jumped in it for the break of 4. And we got a pop right there from about 375 up to 415, 413. That was enough for me to make $3,200. It didn't hold, wasn't totally surprised. I mean, I hoped it would break this level and maybe go up to the high, but I wasn't sure about it. The problem with this is there was not fresh news. So, but it was the leading gapper. So I was like, it is obvious. So anyways, took a trade on that one. That broke the ice, put me in the green. Next trade, TRIRX. And this is the other stock I was watching pre-market. This one had news, had popped up earlier, pulled back, and I got in right here for that curl back up, and I locked up a relatively small profit of just $700. I sort of chased it. I wasn't in at a very good entry. So I got a quick trade on TIRX and then switched gears to BLRX. So BLRX, you could see I'm up about $16,000 on it. I left a lot of money on the table on this one. I was too slow to jump on it. So here's the problem. BLRX pops up, micro pullback there at 480. I missed it. Micro pullback there at 7. I missed it. Oh my goodness. You got to be kidding me. I took my first trade on this at $9. So I got in, it pops up. I got in down here. It pops up. I get a little profit. Drops back down. I bought the double bottom. Comes back up. That was a nice trade. Drops back down, was starting to buy dips off ascending support here, and then selling pops. Buying dips, selling pops, buying dips, selling pops. Was hoping for a breakthrough 10, wasn't able to break 10, ended up coming back down. But all in all, I traded it fairly well, considering I didn't even break the ice until $9 a share. I was trading with larger share size, 15, 20,000 shares. So 10 cents a shares, $2,000. So I got a couple nice pops there. And one of the nicer ones was this double bottom dip from just under, I guess it dipped back down to about 8.20 and then popped all the way back up to almost 10. So over $1 a share right there. However, in spite of news, it did end up rolling over. So that was a little disappointing. And at that point, I was like, all right, it's about 7:10. I'm currently up $20,000 on the day. Let's see what comes next. The next stock is VVPR. VVPR puts out news right here at 7:30 of a private placement. I jumped in it at 5.50, something like that. Goes up to 6.50. And then I realized the news is a rehash of the same exact headline they put out 2 days ago. So I got out. And so that was a little bit of a close call. Companies sometimes do this. They'll put out the same headline again. I don't love that because that throws off my trust a little bit. So now VVPR is kind of on my watch list for be very careful if I see it pop up again and be a little skeptical. So then we had BGLC that popped up. This one, I bought a dip. It pops up, it flushes all the way down. I bought a dip off of 4 down here and it bounced back up. It was a very small trade, $900, but I got a flush on it. So just thought that was an extreme pop and drop. So did a little reversal trade on that one. Then VIVK pops up, and VIVK was not easy to trade. This one popped up and immediately reversed. I tried to do a dip trade on this one as well. Off of this level, it came up, but didn't really go back up that high. Only made $500 on that one. And that was at about 10 past 8. And then we had SBAT. All right, got back into SBAT today, made $19,000 on it. And I had a pretty good read on it. So here were my trades. It popped up right here. I got in right here for that squeeze, and I lost $1,700. I was down, but not out. So, knock me down. You better believe I'm going to jump back up on that horse. And I did. I was on top of that horse real quick. Was back in at 104.75 and 105. Added back, and it goes to 108. It goes all the way to 122. Wow, that's nice. So, $20,000. There it is. Ends up pulled back a bit more than I'd like. Watched it at the open, and look at that rejection at the open. So no more trades on it. Just said, no, I'm not going to mess around with it. So I made $20,000 on that, and at that point was up $50,000 on the day. Another fantastic day. I was just like, wow, this is incredible. And at that point, I was like, I don't know, might be done. WLDS pops up. Did not end up taking a trade on it. Pop, drop. It was just a pattern, so I said, no, I'm going to leave that alone. And then GITS pops up. And GITS initially pops up, drops down, and I was like, I don't know, guys. I don't even see news on it. Pops up, drops down. But it comes back up here, and as it rallies back up there, I was like, all right, you know what? Shoot, this thing is squeezing. So I ended up buying basically on a micro pullback right in this area at 265 and 275, added at 285, and we went up to 310. We then dropped down, and then I got back in right here for the breakthrough 310, and this was fantastic. This I sized up pretty heavy for. So got a really nice trade on that up to the high, which was about 388, and I was hoping for the break of 4. But then it sort of faded. So anyways, and then I got one more trade right here. This is a bit of an inverted head and shoulders, but MACD negative. And I think that's what stopped it from going all the way back up. So that was my last trade. And with that, I am up 88,000 on the day. I'm blown away. I'm just, this month has been unbelievable. I just didn't expect it. So I started the month with about $700,000 in my account. It's a big account. It's a Roth IRA account, and I was sitting coming into the day today at $862,000, doubled my account. And for what it's worth, I mean, I haven't had a single trade this month where I used all my buying power. I have more in the account than I need. However, my feeling is that I'd rather have the money there in case I need it than need it and not have it. during GameStop, for instance, I had some trades that were $3-4 million positions. Those are the biggest positions I've ever taken. And because 2020 had been such a good year, I still had a good amount of money sitting in my account. So I had the buying power at that time that I needed it. Now, if I had taken the money out of the account, what would I have done with it? Well, I usually would invest it long term. I've bought some real estate and done some other things, but usually I reinvest long term. But what do you get long term? 7%, 8% average? Maybe on a good year you get a bit more. Whereas if I kept that $2 million in my account, let's just say 2 million for instance, 8% 160 grand. But on the one day I need that $2 million of buying power, I think I could make a lot more in one day than I would make in a whole year of the interest. But at the same time, on the other hand, having $5, $8, $10 million in my trading account, at a certain point, if I'm never using that buying power, then it's kind of costing me several $100,000 a year of opportunity cost of interest I could be making. So there's a balance. And so as we go into June, my account's going to have about $1.6 million in it, something like that. And I sort of feel like I don't need that much buying power. At the same time, the market has been so hot. What am I going to do? Take $1 million out of the account and put it in the S&P 500 near, just off of the all-time highs? I don't really think that's a good idea. So I think I'm just going to leave the money in the account for right now. So I'll go into June with 1.6 million in the account, and who knows? You think I could double the account again in June? A $1.6 million month? I don't know. Never say never, right? I mean, the fact is, this has been a really outstanding month. And, going into June, I'm kind of expecting to see a bit more volume because, when I was in high school and college, summer break was when I was able to trade. So I'm sort of thinking there will be more volume in the market coming into the summer from younger folks that are, in school that are able to trade. So who knows? I mean, it's all a guess. I don't know. But I'm going to show up every day. As always, I'm in the trenches. I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to trade through the ups, trade through the downs. And I have a feeling that I'll be able to find my way to some nice profit through the month of June. So if you want to join me for the first 2 weeks of June, check out that 2-week trial. Link is in the description. And I'll be back at it bright and early on Monday morning, live streaming at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And a reminder, as always, guys, when I do my broadcast, I'm putting my strategies on display, the strategies that I teach on display. It is a classroom. It is not my intention, my goal, or my hope that you try to blindly follow me. One of the reasons we give you a simulator is because I tell you every morning, don't trade with real money until you've proven profitability in the simulator first. Because, hey, we all know it. Trading is risky. So I want you guys to take it slow. I want you to remember that it's your time to pay your dues. I've already paid mine. You got to pay your dues. Practice in the sim. Prove to me you can make money in the sim before you put real money on the line. And use my live stream as an opportunity to confirm the strategies and the lessons that you're learning in the classes. Reaffirm that you're looking at the same stocks, that you're seeing the same setups. That's the goal. I want to teach you how to trade. I don't want you to just blindly follow. That makes you dependent. That doesn't serve you. I want you to become independently, your own trader. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. As always, if you do, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you'd like, and I'll see you guys back at it on Monday morning.